Bronte sisters have a great name in the history of English literature. Charlotte Bronte's Jane Eyre, Emily Bronte's Wuthering Heights, and Anne Bronte's Agnes Grey has a very significant and popular significance in history of English literature. But have you ever heard of the two eldest sisters, Maria and Elizabeth Bronte? Today I am going to talk about these two elder sisters. Their short life and untimely death played a very particular role in shaping the life and career of rest of the family members. As 2025 marks the 20th death anniversary of both eldest sisters, and of course, in this video, I want to take an opportunity to pay a tribute to all these Bronte sisters on this death anniversary. Hello and Assalamu alaikum. Welcome back to my channel, and I am Mehreen. Maria, the eldest Bronte sister, was born in 1814. Exact date of her birth is unknown, although she was baptized on April 23rd, which is also considered as her birth date. As the eldest child, she had a special place in the Bronte family. Elizabeth Bronte was born on 8th of February 1815, exactly a year after Maria's birth. She was named after her mother sister Elizabeth Branwell, who was also her godmother. Elizabeth Bronte was baptized by John Fennell on 26th of August 1815, nearly 7 months after her birth, which is quite late. From an early age, Maria and Elizabeth both were surrounded by intellect and stimulation of education. Despite the modest means, Bronte family had an access to Patrick Bronte's extensive book collection. Patrick Bronte is the father of Bronte sisters. Patrick encouraged them to read and helped them to ignite the fire of learning. Moral, religious, and humane values were infused in the fabric of their upbringing. As the girls grew older, they were sent to Crofton Hall, a school in Wakefield. The exact date of their time at Crofton is unknown, but it was a brief stay because education provided was expensive and a burden on family means. Both girls were too young at that time, and 8 years and 9 years respectively. Both were different from each other, yet complementary. Their time at Crofton School was relatively short, as Patrick, their father, was already looking for other educational opportunities, and on 4th of December 1823, an advertisement of a school appeared in the Leeds Intelligencer. The school, called Cowan Bridge, was to open in March or April of the following year. That school was described as a school for clergymen's daughters. This school promised quality education on affordable rates. Patrick's prayers were answered by God, finally. The school policy was to pay £14 a year, half in advance. And these £14 were for clothing, lodging, education, and food for the students. The school was to provide accommodation and other accessories to the students which were going to be admitted in the school, and they were all going to be the clergymen's daughters. Although the school was 45 miles away from Patrick's parsonage, yet it was quite promising. This advertisement really attracted Mr. Patrick, who was managing a growing family on the salary of a clergyman. Bronte girls' time at Cowan Bridge marked notably, not in the context of their educational, religious, and moral aspects of their lives, but also it had a great impact on their future lives and as well as the future of other family members. In 1824, Maria and Elizabeth were sent to Cowan Bridge School. Although that school was capacitated for 60 girls, all clergymen daughters, but it never reached to this number. When Bronte girls admitted there, the school had been opened a few months ago. Bronte sisters were only the 17th and 18th pupils at that time. The school was to promote education on religious settings so that the girls may play an active, respectable role in the society as teachers or governesses. But the situation had never been the ideal. The girls had to go to attend Sunday service at Tunstall Church, a 2-mile walk, no matter what conditions. They had to cross fields at Tunstall Church. Wilson the vicar would preach. The living conditions at Cowan School were harsh and far from the ideal environment which could be expected from any boarding school or any educational institution. The food which was provided to students was dirty, ill-cooked, and sometimes rotten. The Bronte girls never liked the food. Besides this, the rooms were damp and ill-heated, ill-lighted. The situation got worsened when a quite big number of girls started to get ill. After the first 9 months of the school, 20 girls were withdrawn from the school, including Maria and Elizabeth. The girls' health had started to deteriorate at school, but I think they could not realize the seriousness of the matter. Or perhaps the society where they were living had taught them never to speak of sufferings. The bravery to bear the turmoil led them to ultimate death. It's quite strange that they never wrote home about these problems or this maltreatment. But this was a kind of typical in Victorian era. After returning home from Cowan Bridge in 1825, Maria's condition had become increasingly severe. She was suffering from consumption. Consumption means tuberculosis or TB, which we may call it today. Her lungs, chest, and throat were badly affected, and she died on 6th of May 1825, just a few months after returning from Cowan Bridge. Elizabeth's health was though not that much badly affected, yet she took Maria's death to her heart. Elizabeth Bronte's health had already been affected. Her health condition had already been weakened by the time when she was at school, but in fact, she could not bear the emotional strain of her Maria's death. Elizabeth passed away on 15th of June 1825, just 6 weeks after Maria's death. The entire family, including Charlotte and Emily and Branwell, their brother, attended the funeral to mourn the loss of the Elizabeth and Maria. Their bodies were laid to rest in family vault at Haworth Church, beside their mother Maria Bronte, who died 4 years earlier in 1821. Elizabeth and Maria's untimely death had a very tragic and important effect on the other family members. And of course, the younger sisters had a deep impact of this death. The love and emotional attachment of these sisters is very much vivid in the novels which were written by the younger sisters. Many of the autobiographical touches and emotional events could be traced in the novels of Emily Bronte and Bronte and Charlotte Bronte. I hope in this brief video you would have learned a lot about Bronte sisters, not only the three literary figures but also their eldest sisters. For more informative and educational videos, keep subscribed my channel and stay tuned with me. Keep sharing, keep watching and keep waiting for my next videos. And thanks a lot for being with Mehreen for such a long time.